those filthy, disgusting Tesla trucks.
I don't like hearing this, man. I've got Tesla stock. I do not want to hear about problems with the Cybertruck.
Yeah. So first off, full disclosure here, I'm actually a pretty big fan of the Cybertruck, and I'll tell you why. Not because it's a good-looking truck. It is not.
Because it looks like something out of Terminator 3.
Not because it works great, because apparently it doesn't work that great. For one reason is that this might be the most unique vehicle in the last 25 years. I remember a time where cars coming out in like the 90s were unique, where you had like, remember the Dodge Viper? It was literally like the Batmobile, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I do remember that.
Like,
yeah. Very expensive.
Yeah, like commercially available vehicles and personally available vehicles were unique, and like people were outdoing themselves to try to come out with unique vehicles, whether it's the Avalanche, the truck that you can turn from an SUV into a pickup truck.
Right.
The Dodge Viper.
The Transformer.
That the PT Cruiser. That one car where it looks like a Model T hot rod. But there were so many really cool ideas. And over the last 30 years, every single vehicle I see is just sort of like an amalgamation of every other vehicle.
Of the yes, it's an amalgamation of the Prius.
It's right. It's just a it's just a
Prius.
It's a
everything
version
out
of the
there
Prius.
Is goddamn Prius.
It's like someone when they're AI and just made a lot of images based on the Prius, and that's every single car is just based on that car. It's just sort of like the typical sedan. And the only real difference is what type of vehicle. You're getting an SUV, a sedan, a truck, or a van or whatever. I remember when the Chevy Venture came out and there was a door on each side, people were like, whoa, mind blowing. I don't feel like we're actually like innovating anymore in the auto industry. And as someone who used to love cars and love all these crazy ideas, and my favorite car is probably an El Camino or something like that. Unique cars. I have really lost interest in cars. And then when the Cybertruck, when Elon Musk, that crazy bastard, came out with the Cybertruck. First off, guys, it's called the Cybertruck.
Which is a great name.
Yeah, Elon Musk is such a nerd though. Like he's literally, it's like, you know what's so cool? Cyberpunk is a very cool aesthetic. Let's make a truck called the Cybertruck.
Yes, I love his autistic nature, because he should have just named the truck the X Truck.
He should have.
The X Truck. I mean, it was coming. He probably tried to name it the X Truck, and they're like, no, come on, Elon.
Yeah, my favorite part was this. And you guys recall this? He's going to show the durability of the prototype X Truck, and he tells
this was the first demo.
Yeah, the first demo. He tells one of the designers, the guy who's been working on this thing for years, months. He's like, listen, take your metal ball and show him how durable it is. And he gives him like a lead ball. And here we go.
Should we tell Elon we didn't replace the windshield?
Yeah. Oh my God.
It instantly breaks.
Shit. Look at the look on his face. He's like,
yeah.
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I love Elon's reaction was like, oh, well, a little too hard.
That's right. He had Joe Rogan fire a dart or, shoot a crossbow into it. So
yeah.
It's bad.
So the thing is, this truck, if you notice, it looks like, it literally looks like a vehicle out of Cyberpunk 2020, whatever, that game, or any game. It looks like, if you remember playing those racing games where you were in like a futuristic race truck kind of thing. I think it was called like Microsoft Future Racer or something. It looks like that. Like someone was like, hey, all those racing games from the 90s? Let's make an actual truck based on that. So I love this idea. Not because I actually like the way it looks or works, but I just want something that is unique, and it's made out of stainless steel. What was the last car that was made out of stainless steel, Shane?
Oh, it was a flying car.
Yes, the flying car. Do you guys recall the infamous DeLorean? The last vehicle made out of pure, unpainted, untarnished stainless steel was the DeLorean from Back to the Future. That car. Right. Now, if I do believe that Elon might letting his nerd underwear show a little, his underoos show a little bit when he's like, "Well, you want to make a cyberpunk truck, and it needs to be stainless steel like the DeLorean."
Well, of course, that's why he did it. And that's why we love it, because it does kind of have that DeLorean vibe. But let's talk about this article.
And here we go. So, in the contract, so first off, people are starting to get their Cybertrucks now. It's it was delayed a lot for obvious reasons. People are starting to get them finally after long delays. And because they're made out of stainless steel, they have no paint, they have no protection, they have nothing. There's actually a part of their manual. This is what it says in the owner's manual. To prevent, and I'm going to read it in Elon's voice because it's just funnier to me. To prevent damage to the exterior, immediately remove corrosive substances such as grease, oil, bird droppings, tree resin, dead insects, tar spots, road salts, industrial fallout, etc. Do not wait until...
Waste.
What's that?
Nuclear waste. I'm just adding to it.
Yeah, nuclear waste, child vomit, roadkill. Do not wait until the Cybertruck is due for a complete wash. If necessary, use denatured alcohol to remove tar spots and stubborn grease stains. Then immediately wash the area with water and a mild non-detergent soap to remove the alcohol. Because it's made out of stainless steel.
Right.
Which means that anything that touches this thing for too long can corrode it to the point where it's no longer rust resistant.
Well, that's not 100% true. So I did a little bit of digging deeper, which this person did not do in their article, unfortunately. This person, interesting, they point out this thing, which is interesting that you put it. If anybody has had a vehicle, you know that you need to get grease, oil, bird droppings, tree resin, tar from the road. That shit's got to come off your car pretty quick on any vehicle, because the longer you let it sit on your car, the harder it is to get off of it.
Right.
Okay. The harder it is to clean it. So that's one thing. So
I haven't washed my car in 3 years.
Huh?
I haven't washed my Jeep in 3 years.
Well, okay. Well, it's your Jeep. So
I let the rain do it.
It's all, well, so the point is that you should be doing that with your vehicles anyways.
Sure. Yeah.
So because it makes it difficult. You can't remove it, and it's ugly, and it makes your car look like shit. Now you're talking about, if you want your stainless steel to be, to be clean and pristine, you're going to have to, it's going to show up on that stuff. What's interesting about this article though, is they go through and they ask these questions like, what is it? Is the stainless steel, going to, is it going to be a problem? If you drive for the summer, is your Cybertruck, is it going to like disintegrate? They ask all these questions, right? And then they don't give us any answers. It says, I guess we'll have to wait for Cybertruck owners to give us the answers. Well, dumbass, if you just go and like pull up a couple articles, does stainless steel deteriorate? Stainless steel is highly resistant to corrosion, staining, and rust. Not completely immune to deterioration, but neither is vehicles, even with a clear coat and painted. So, hopefully Elon or somebody over at Tesla will say why this is in here. But my guess is the reason why this is actually in the manual is because if you do this, it's going to make the vehicle look better. And let me ask you, in order to sell more Cybertrucks, what do you want to do? You want people to keep their Cybertrucks clean and looking good, right? Because then more people are going to want to buy the truck because it looks good. Because stainless steel, if you don't take care of it, it'll get splotchy.
Well, it'll get scratched really easily.
Yes. So you do kind of got to take care of stainless steel, but it doesn't mean, they're making this article sound and they're making it sound like
there is something to it. You have a good point, but then there is what this guy just said, the oxide barrier. There is an oxide barrier. And paint is what protects metal, whether it's stainless steel or aluminum, whatever it is, from that oxide barrier. This has no paint, which means that even though it's more resistant than the metals, it's not as resistant as it would be if it had a clear coat of paint.
It's not as resistant, but it's like a fraction
less
resistant. So like stainless steel is like super resistant. Now, if there was a coat of paint on it, would it be a fraction more? Yes. But they make it sound like, oh my God, we need to be concerned that your vehicle is going to corrode in 6 months or whatever.
Well, what I'm worried about more is like, have you ever had stainless steel things? They get scratched so easy, and the longer you have them, the more you little tiny scratches all over them. And you're just going to see Cybertrucks walking by. They just look like the back of that old tablet you have where it's just like covered in scratches, dude.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I haven't looked into this, but hopefully they have some sort of clear coating over the stainless steel that protects it from things like that.
It's raw stained steel.
So you're saying there's no coating at all in the stainless steel?
Just like the DeLorean, there's no coating. It's
interesting.
It's just the oxide barrier, which is formed naturally. You can kill that oxide barrier with a little bit of sanding. It's funny that the scratching is going to be really noticeable in the future. I saw a video where the Cybertruck was doing an off-road test and it got stuck, and it was so embarrassing for Elon because like they had to call like a gas engine, like a regular Ford truck, and the guy walks up, the guy drives up and he's like a hillbilly. He's like, hey, you guys got your fancy electric vehicle all stuck out here, huh? That's why you gotta have a good big truck like this. He pats his car. Either way, man, this is the car that I want. I want a good old fashioned or a good new Cybertruck. That's what I want.
It just drives me crazy. I looked up will the Cybertruck rust, and there's all these things linked to this article. Right. Oh, it turns out the Cybertruck's going to corrode. Oh, you better wipe bird poop off. Hey, listen, guys, you need to do that for any vehicle you have, not just the Cybertruck.
Yeah, this isn't
a little bit disingenuous.
The look of this thing is just so wild to me. Like
it is, and it's wider than other vehicles. Mm-hmm. So when it first came out, my son was completely obsessed with it, and he was like getting the measurements, and he'd go out and measure our car, and he's like, Dad, you couldn't fit this thing in the driveway next to Mom's car. And I'm like, don't worry, son. I can't afford that vehicle anyways.
Yeah, we're not going to be a problem, son.
Not a problem. But apparently it's wider than having like a 2-vehicle driveway. You would struggle to have both vehicles in there.
I found it funny. Like, you can reserve your Cybertruck today for $150. You're like, cool. And how much is the car?
You'll be paying for it for the rest of your life.
Right. Hey, if you like this clip and you want to see more, then click right here and become a member today. Also, we do a live show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, totally free. So come on down and hang out with us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll see you there.